Have you ever wondered why some houses get snapped up the moment they go on the market, but others seem to hang around on Rightmove for months on end without any takers, making their owners feel like the last kid at school to get picked for the sports team? No one wants to be that kid, or in fact, that homeowner. So in this video, we'll be sharing the simple system used by those in the know to sell your house fast. And who exactly is giving us this inside information?
So hello everyone, welcome back to the channel.
None other than Tony Fitch, who spent the last 6 years running a family estate agency business with his daughter in the heart of Cambridge. And in this video, he'll be sharing with you his simple 5-step system to dramatically increase the desirability factor of your home and get it sold faster. He'll also be showing you where exactly you can spend an extra $5,000 if your budget permits to get your home sold as quick as possible. So let's begin. We all know the value of good first impressions, and this is no different when it comes to introducing your home to its potential next owner. As much as the old saying is true about homes having good bones, if you can dress those bones up with a plant or two, your chances of selling can soon increase. In fact, a study by the post office found that a landscaped garden could increase the value of your property by up to 77%. So the first step in Tony's system is about creating curb appeal.
We've all talked about curb appeal on properties, and some have it in bags, some will never have it. I mean, for example, we've just driven past a property there, quite a good location. You've got one garden on the front there, is immaculately presented with a really nice cut lawn, some nice bedding plants, some hanging baskets, and you've got one where weeds are growing out the driveway. I know which one I would be drawn to. These are all very simple things that you can do to make your property, your home, be more appealing, especially this time of year. You know, in the winter months, we don't have so much opportunity with bedding plants, that's for sure. But this time of year, you know, the gardens are bursting with colour. So you're not about to completely dig up all your borders and put loads of plants in, but just use your common sense. Certainly get rid of the weeds in your front. Tidy up the front to give it as much curb appeal as you can. And if you've got wooden windows, for example, if you've got paint flaking off and they look ghastly, they may well be solid, but the paint is flaking off, yeah, I think it would be prudent to invest in getting the windows repainted. If they're plastic windows and they're grubby and dirty, give them a wash. They're not expensive things to have to do to make your property look more appealing.
Once you've hooked your potential buyer through the door with your great curb appeal, there's usually two places they tend to gravitate towards, and renovating these hotspots can potentially add up to 20% to the value of your home. So the second step in our system for a fast sale is to sort out the kitchen and the bathroom.
Well, I would say kitchens more so than bathrooms are key selling points, but it's kitchen. Kitchen is potentially the heart of many homes. So kitchens are really, really important. But you know, not every property has a really large kitchen space. So it's just about making the most of kitchens. So if you, for example, if you have got a really tiny kitchen, then make sure it's tidy so that when people enter, you know, they can see that it's small, but they can also see that it works well, it's organised. They can, there's this triangle rule, isn't there, that you can stand in a kitchen, you can get to the fridge, to the oven and the sink within this triangle. Some people, when they've got small kitchens, it's full of junk. They've got the air fryer, they've got the kettle, they've got the toaster, they've got a bread bin, they've got pots and pans all over the worktops, and then you all of a sudden lost all your worktop space, and people are thinking, well, where am I going to prepare my food? For the viewings, chuck everything in a box under the stairs or whatever you've got to do.
Now, despite the fact that so far all we've talked about is looks, we all know that personality is key to making a potential sale. In the world of real estate, this just simply isn't the case. But when it comes to selling, being a bit bland can actually make you far more attractive. Step 3 in our system is to neutralise and depersonalise.
In terms of decoration of a property, I think the first thing you've got to, we just touched on, is cleanliness. Okay, because it doesn't matter what colour your walls are and what type of wallpaper you've got and skirting boards, all that kind of little detailing, because if they're really grubby and dirty, that's just going to put people off. So first thing is clean it. Decoration is very personal, and most buyers, I would say, they see through the decoration. We all know that a lot of people use white because white it's very bright, it's very airy, and it can make rooms look, believe it or not, can make rooms look much bigger. And that is not a bad tip, actually. But if you've got lots of wallpaper, are you going to start stripping wallpaper from walls ready to sell your house and then paint them white? Well, you may do, but equally you may not have the time to do that. So I would say most buyers will forgive you for your decor. Declutter. I hired a storage container during my move this year because I had so much stuff, and I knew to present my property I had to declutter, and I've put stuff into storage. So if you can declutter, that's great, because the last thing you want is for someone to come into your property and think there is no room to swing a cat, there's no room for me to do anything, there's no room for my children to play around in.
Now imagine you've been invited to a red carpet premiere. There's paps everywhere taking your picture, you're the toast of the town, and then you realise you really should have gone to the dentist when you were supposed to, and had your hair cut, because looking good is often about sorting out the small things. And that's why step 4 in Tony's system is fix and repair.
Don't spend the money unless you're going to get it back, but equally there are some key basics. Cleanliness. Everyone likes a nice clean property. I don't know anyone who doesn't like clean, and clean doesn't have to cost you a fortune. So that to me is first thing, is get it all cleaned up, get it as clean as you possibly can given the time that you have. So that's really important. That's not a huge cost.
So now you've tidied your home and really laid bare its true potential, there's very little standing in the way of a quick sale, except the final step in this system. And whilst this factor wasn't on the minds of buyers as little as 5 years ago, it's now become a significant part of the home buying process, mainly because it's an ongoing cost. And in recent years, this cost has increased dramatically. Step 5 in Tony's system is increasing the energy efficiency of your home.
It is on people's radar. They're asking me all the time, how much is the current owner paying on electricity per year or per month? So all of a sudden, the EPC is important. People are looking at the energy efficiency of a particular property. And for some people, if it's a really bad rating, they possibly won't buy it. Of course, older properties, it's really hard to improve on some of those ratings, because if you've got an old property that's not insulated in the floor, maybe doesn't have a cavity that you can insulate, there'll be maybe some loft insulation. They may have double glazed sealed windows, they may have single glazed. Now, if you're about to market your property, are you about to go and invest money in digging up floors, insulating them to improve the energy rating? Well, the answer is no, but it is a factor for some people. But I think what you have is certain people that will buy older character properties and take the hit. They'll accept that it's not going to have the energy rating that maybe a new build has. But those particular buyers probably don't want to buy a new build because they maybe don't appeal to them. So it's not one size fits all, but it is very much an important part of the buying process for many buyers today.
And if you do have a relatively small budget to play around with when it comes to making your home more attractive to the market, what does Tony suggest?
If I had £5,000 to improve a property before selling, I would be investing in a bit of house clearance, clean, some light decoration without having to completely renovate your property, gardens, decluttering gardens, tidying up gardens. If you haven't had an energy EPC done before, you might, when you've got no loft insulation, for example, that's a big gain. You can put some rock wool loft insulation into the roof, and all of a sudden you've improved the energy rating of your property. Not a huge cost. You could buy some, I guess the average house would probably take around £500 in cost of rock wool insulation for a loft. So to me, that's money well spent.
But it's not just your house you need to consider when moving. It's the area you want to move to. And if you click on the video on your screen now, Tony will share with you some of the best places to buy for those looking to move to Cambridge.